I'm going to give you 10 important truths that you need to remember or avoid when you first move to the US. Let's talk about it. Credit cards are not free money. One of the first things you'll notice is how easily it is to get a credit card. But be very careful, this is not free money. In the US, your ability to manage credit determines your financial future. You'll need to pay off your balance every single month. Or if you don't, then you get hit with interest charges.
What?
And the last thing you want to do is miss your credit card payments. If you do miss a payment, I understand that things get hard sometimes, but you don't want to make that a habit. Multiple missed payments on the same account can turn that account into a charge-off or a collection. And that's where you start to get into serious trouble. Number 2, the tipping culture. Here in the US, the expectation, you tip your waitress, waiter, or server 15 to 20% of your current bill or the bill at the end of the night. It's something that I had to learn here in the US that if you don't, well, let's say 3 things. It's a sign that you didn't enjoy your service, you're broke, or you don't understand that waiters and waitresses and servers only make a fraction of what the typical minimum wage is for their area.
Shut the front door.
Number 3, healthcare is not free. Let's talk about it. In some states, they'll have healthcare programs like, I think it's called Obamacare, and a couple other in different states that will provide you quote unquote free healthcare. Till something happens, like you need to be rushed to the hospital in an ambulance, it does not cover that. These health insurances, they cover basic stuff like visits and nothing that has to go extreme or beyond you just going to the doctors and saying hi. Healthcare in the United States is not free, it's rather expensive, especially if you don't have health insurance. Number 4. Oh, this part hit me like a ton of brick.
It was straight out of hell.
Most, if not all states, have sales taxes. I believe one of the few that don't might be New Hampshire. When you go to order something or buy something, whether it's online or in store, unless it's a promotion, you will realize that the amount you're paying is more than what it shows on the tag or the listed price. So beware of that. If you're going out to shop and you're going to buy something that's $1,000, make sure you bring at least $1,200 just in case there's any additional taxes or fees that needs to be added to whatever you're purchasing. Number 5. The rental market in the United States is very competitive. Let's talk about it. Something that I also had to learn after moving here and being homeless a couple months later, it is not easy to rent somewhere, and I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why. Reason number 1, you need to have a decently rated credit score. Number 2, income requirement. Number 3, security deposit. Number 4, if you have an eviction or certain things on your record, you might as well just camp in your car for a couple of years until that falls off.
And sometimes it's just too much. It's just too stressful.
Number 6. I didn't really care about this one because I learned how to drive when I got here, but driving laws in most states are different. Let's talk about it. In some states, there's certain things you can do on the road that are completely legal in a vehicle, and in other states, it can put you behind bars. A great example is when I moved here, I lived in Massachusetts and I always drove and traveled to different states. I got pulled over in a different state because I turned right on red because I thought I've done it in 3 different states, why not? Well, I didn't get a ticket, but I got a warning because I was fairly new to driving and the officer recognized that. But thank God, right? The moral of this part of the video is be very careful in not just driving, but laws change as you travel across different state lines. Number 7. The importance of having at least decent credit. Let's talk about it. The importance of learning how credit works, how money works, and advantages you have by having a good or decent credit score. You want to start off by getting a secure credit card and pay it back over time. Don't miss any payments. Don't get any charge-offs. Don't get any collections. No judgments. Keep your credit clean. So when it's time for you to get that new car, that new house, get that personal loan, you're able to do that without any hiccup. Number 8. This one's big. Transportation isn't everywhere. Let's talk about it. Certain states like Boston, New York, California, Las Vegas, these states have public transportation like the subways, trains, buses, Ubers, taxis. And I learned that the difficult way. I moved to Massachusetts and lived there for the first 7 years. And now I currently live in North Carolina. In Massachusetts, you don't technically need a car. There's a bus stop every 2 seconds you drive. And you can hear a train wherever you live in Massachusetts from your home. Now that I moved to North Carolina, it's not the same. I barely see buses, and I saw one rail track that looks like it only carries coals. But keep that in mind, public transportation isn't everywhere in the United States. Number 9. Networking is key. Let's talk about it. What I mean by networking, not T-Mobile or Verizon or AT&T. I mean the people that you meet and the people that you know and build a relationship with. I know if you just moved here, you're inclined to stay with your people and kind of just be out of the way until you learn English maybe. If I had to speak from experience, my life significantly changed once I started to meet and hang out with a certain type of person or a certain type of people. Because when you start to expand your network, you start to get connected with the right people at the right time. Don't stay in your shell, crack that thing open, and go out there and meet people.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Number 10. Watch out for scams. When you get here to the United States, be very careful. Double check emails, double check phone numbers. If you have questions, call and ask someone before you give out personal information, or the worst, send money.
Call the police.
When you first arrive here, you're gonna get a lot of calls, a lot of emails, because you're waiting for documents in the mail like your green card or your social or a new credit card or a new debit card. And you're going to be getting calls from these people and emails from them. Scammers and hackers use this time to get your information, pretend like they're the bank or pretend like they're the USCIS or the government, take your information from you. Well, I've personally seen this hurt people, so be very careful if you're a newcomer here in the United States or you're even current here and you've been here for a while. And that's it, guys. That's my top 10 truths that you need to be very careful of or avoid when you arrive here in the United States or even if you're visiting. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the information that I gave you, like it, leave a comment and let me know if you have any questions or if anything I explained needs a bit more explaining. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get videos like this when they release. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.